Welcome and welcome back to Universal Thoughts. It's Shaikita, and we're about to go into the Black people's story. These next two videos are about Black people. And the story I'm starting with first is her story, meaning us Black women. And before I get into it, I want to say first, this isn't just our world. Earth isn't just where we live. This is literally ours. This is our home. This is our house. This is our everything. We created this. We're the reason why all of this stuff is able to happen. We was here before all of this. I just want to say that real quick because we created this. This is ours. And we're letting them fuck up our shit. And we got to stop that. Now, to understand this world today and what's going on, you have to understand the worlds before. For those that don't know, this moment on Earth is the first one with man, meaning a Black man. It's always just been Black women, and her story always started in Africa, while in the world today, their story, mainly the Black man's story, starts in America. Hence the saying and the underlying meaning, go back to Africa. Earth is always being attacked for multiple reasons, which we're going to get into. Excuse me. And it's always family that attacks us every time, which are the other planets, if you don't know that, that's always trying to kill us. And they tend to mix the old world with the new world so it can confuse us. And basically they're creating mental illnesses in us. But starting off with Met-Yeret and Sekhmet. They are the original creators. The original creator energies and entity of Earth, being two in one, masculine and feminine in one body. This is where they get the concept of bipolar disorder and dissociative identity disorder, I believe is the name. Also the concept of gay, transgender, and hermaphrodite, because like today, there's different types of women and their body types are different, their personalities and their attitudes, their energy, like their energy is just different. Some are hairy, more masculine and bigger than others, and vice versa, meaning more feminine, smaller, and whatever, how you consider a feminine. Because they want me to say that which that appeared to be pretty can have the most masculine of attitudes. But basically, you can't define women. We just are. But that's where they got part of the concept of the New World Order as well, with the whole no gender and do what thou wilt. Because there's free will, of course, but there's still morals and a universal law that you follow, which they're trying to slowly take from us with I always mess this word up, y'all. Desensitization, plus feminism and the LGBTQ was inspired by her, and Lilith from the Bible also too, but in a negative influence. And also duality, being as beloved, so below, light and dark, masculine and feminine, and stuff like that. Like, yeah. Met-Yeret is the mother personality. She's the caregiver, the healer, the nurturer, the life bringer, the positive, joy, and love. Excuse me, femininity. And then Sekhmet is the father personality, the bringer of death and destroyer. War, destruction, but also the defender, the negative and the masculine. And she's Met-Yeret's voice when angry. Now, Earth is a special planet, down to the beings and the synergy between them. Earth is the most balanced and mature and also an elder planet. Earth can heal herself and is always growing. And apparently won't die. Having all the makings of other planets and the universe. Okay, excuse me, because I had to write everything down to get it in order, because I would just go off on a rant. But basically, we have the makings of other planets in the universe, and like when you see floaters and dots randomly in your eyes, if it's not medically related. Okay, I'm sorry. If it's not medically related, they'll increase the more you become aligned and your third eye is activated or activating. Those are different consciousness slash energies, and they're blending. And you're blending. I'm sorry. You're blending the physical body with the spiritual one. Hence the sayings, you have stars in your eyes, or the eyes are the windows to the soul. It's because your eyes help the energy see in the physical, and stars. Are also different energies throughout lifetimes, and they communicate throughout the day with the clouds. Like if you watch the clouds, they show you different stuff, and they communicate with you during the night with Morse code, and they do this if you can't directly talk to them or see them or whatever. Now, Earth is always being attacked because of the seven deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, sloth. There's some mixed emotions. All the planets work together to help sustain life and order on all the planets, and different energies from different planets are tired of doing the same thing repeatedly, and they want to do new stuff. Some are lazy. Some feel they don't need to do anything. You have some that they just want to beat us and look like us, and some want to be with us, which is where part of incest come from. And then there are others that just want to kill us and be the leader and take over this. And this is where the idea of nursing homes come from and retirement homes. Now, before those came into play, the young would take care of the elder, and in turn, the elders would teach the young the ways and traditions. And there was no outside schools or homes. It was just family. Like, they're just trying to take away the family dynamic of everything. Now, Earth is the only planet with melanin, and with this particular look of beings. I'm sorry, y'all, because like I wrote this with the beings, and they're like, I see why we're going through this, because yo, we're low-key assholes, but I understand what it is. Oh, but you're about to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, we're the only ones who can live in the sun and don't need much or anything to protect us, because we need the sun. And the more the sun, the more the melanin, because the sun produces melanin in us, and melanin is basically a spread of information received from the sun. The sun only talks to us, and that's why they're really mad at us. That's why they're mad at that. One of the reasons. And some planets may favor us, but like in some type of way, shape, or form, meaning the beings. But something is always off with them in multiple ways. Remember, we're the most balanced and unique, and that's excuse me, and that's not even getting on the strength and the health of black women. Our bodies are amazing. Everything down to our periods. I'm about to gloat about us real quick, y'all. Like, the health system is what it is because of black women. Like, I don't think we realize how powerful the words Black Lady Magic really is, or like the level of gravity that's on. Like, we love us so much, and want us to love us just as much. So like I said, I'm about to be a little prideful real quick about us as I go into detail. Our antennas, our main connection to the sun, our hair, especially type 4, can be manipulated to any texture out there, but no other texture can even reach ours, which is why I don't understand why people with type 4 hair don't love their hair. When with the right technique, you can mimic any texture out there. Like, I love my hair. I don't understand. Not even just that, we can produce a rainbow of children because we're the only ones with the mitochondrial Eve gene to do so. And this is actually why they decided to name the white lady Eve. Like, I'm going to go into that later. But down to how we're shaped in the down to how we're shaped and the amount of limbs we have. And that's how they really look in the movies. Yo, when they was telling me this, they was so hyped. This is how they really look in the movies. When you see aliens in the different the movies about different worlds and the galaxy and stuff, that's how they look. And they just want us to see, like, they just want to see our thoughts, I'm sorry, on how they look physically. They're even different from us in the spirit world. Like, they're just different from us, period. But going back to babies, our period, reproductive system, and the benefits, right? Our period is life, meaning consciousness. And women are always pregnant. Is when you decide to have a child that your period develops into a human. Everything needed to create a human is in period blood. Period blood stem cells can multiply faster than umbilical cord stem cells because that's where they came from. They also mutate and turn into other cells, which makes the human body. We also used to drink our period blood, and this is where they get the whole resurrection and reincarnation thing from as well. Being that we're in tune with the universe, making us telepathic, clairvoyant, clairaudient, a medium, a soothsayer, a I see peopler, we are able to talk to consciousness, different consciousness. And we can see what they do before they get here, or we can have them for a specific reason to to continue the purpose towards our carrying our legacy. And this is where they get the concept of schizophrenia, because we're unaware of ourselves. They call it a mental illness, and they give meds to suppress it, and they tell you something's wrong with you. And because you don't know about this, and the people around you don't know, you'll believe them, and you are what you believe. So instead of telling you to build up your spiritual body, to balance out and strengthen your energy field, to lessen the spiritual attacks and control the interactions, but that's against the agenda. This is also where they get the job concept from. Remembering the saying, you made an agreement or you signed a contract before you came here, and you have a mission or a purpose. We were actually born with a manual. We would agree to birth a particular consciousness if they agreed to continue to balance on earth or do what they were set out to do, right? Or like some consciousness will actually come to us and ask, hey, because they can see what's going on in the world. So they'll be like, hey, this is happening over here. Do you mind if I come and help you, blah, 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 blah? And it's like, yeah, just make sure you take care of this and blah, 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 and you could do that. Like, say if somebody asks to come to your house, or they ask to live with you, or they apply for your job or like a company of yours, and you're just like, yeah, you could work here. You just got to care and respect my space and or establishment and the rules and laws of it. And this is where... and the fact that we're able to see in the spirit world and talk to our body and everything in it, we could astral project, and we could see further moments and past moments. We can decide right before or during the process to not give birth to that consciousness, to not produce that body for them. And this is where the concept of abortion comes from. Oxytocin is a powerful hormone acting as the neurotransmitter in the brain. It's important in reproduction, initiating contractions before birth, milk release, emotional and a mood stimulant to the brain, relating to relaxation, stress reduction, psychological stability, and a lot more stuff, but also includes inducing abortions. Remember, it causes a birth, like it's with the contractions and stuff. But yeah, you could self-abort. You could tell your body, we're not having this human, and that's it. It's taking away our connection. We don't know who or what we're creating. And not even just that. This is where the saying, I was born in the wrong body. I was born in the wrong body. When we were actually in tune, you were able to tell the creator, the black woman, the consciousness could tell the black woman how they would want to look. and y'all could just work together on how y'all want to look. And being the fact that, cause this is also where the concept of twin flames come from, because a twin flame is a soul that's separated, basically the feminine separated from the masculine. And they did that because of the fact that now there is a black man on the earth, so they could look how they feel. They could match, they could look how their energy match, they could match their energy. But that's where that came from. Hold up. Okay, because I got to figure out where I was at because I just lost myself. Told y'all I'd be going on a rant. Okay, so taking away our connection, we don't know who or what we're creating. And this is why murder slash killing is illegal. If a conscience goes against the contract, they said, wait, I'm sorry. If the conscience decides to go against the contract, they have to be taken out. Like if you have fired someone from your company or you kick somebody out your house. And that's where the whole concept also of sacrifice and righteous killings came from. You would do a sacrificial ritual with that particular body because that energy is no longer needed. So you would sacrifice it to the earth. And this is what the enlightened ones follow to this day with the whole sell your soul situation. Back to drinking blood. When you agree to birth the consciousness, you make sure to check the color of your blood for health. If it's unhealthy, you would give it back to the earth, meaning like dump it in some dirt or something. And then you would figure out the issues in your body and fix it. Once it's healthy, you would drink, eat, or use in a ritual for manifestation purposes, which is where they get the whole eating, sexually abusing, drinking blood of children, doing rituals, sex magic, and more sacrifices. Drinking our healthy blood is regeneration for us. It's replacing what we lost and going back to the places and going back into place to be part of recreation again. What recreation? Adrenochrome, a product formed after oxidation of adrenaline. Adrenaline caused by everything inside the body giving a piece of itself to form a human, which causes stress on the body. When adrenaline hits the air, it turns into melanin, giving it life. Sacrifices also are the life you decide not to have, or the parts of you lost that you won't be able to get back until after your pregnancy. Period blood hitting the air would mean if you eat it or drink it, you're eating or drinking a child in a sense. And sex abuse and torture, of course, produces adrenochrome in children, so that's why they do all of that. And when you have sex on your period, whether by yourself or with someone else, you can set an intention and visualize your intentions while having sex and climaxing. It speeds up the process of the manifestation and the physical. And it's most potent during full moons. This is why they do that. And they say basically like having sex on your period is basically like having sex with a child. So, yeah, that's why they do that. Also, drinking the blood. I blinked and I lost my spot. Do you ever do that? But, okay. Drinking the blood is their only way to connect to the spirit world. Right? Meaning the enlightened ones. And, to live on earth, because without it they would die at a faster rate because they're basically soulless, and drinking that blood helps them live forever. And we are basically the fountain of youth. This is where they got that concept from. I just thought of something and I lost it. But that's why so many black women and children go missing most. We basically carry the souls they need to live here. Also, they get high. This is where they get the concept of what is that drug? LSD. Because our blood is like a psychedelic. That's where they got that concept from. That's what I wanted to say when I was talking about blood. But, yeah. They need our blood to because we carry the souls that they need to live here, and because of the fact that we were forced to and eventually just mix with them, they go after and erase the child because of the one drop rule. Plus bone marrow cells, right, which is in period blood, it's been proven to get women pregnant, like, I mixed that up. But it's been proven that women can impregnate themselves using bone marrow cells or period blood, which blood can be, it could last up to 42 days if refrigerated, 7 years if frozen, but that's not a good way to hold blood or to save blood. But yeah, and it will always be a female because females are the only ones who can clone themselves. Hence the world that I was just talking about before with just women. That's how that was. We was able to do that on our own. And this is where they get the concept of cloning from. Now, Henrietta Lacks is the first discovery of black women's immortality and continued cured in medicines. Her cervical cancer cells, the HeLa cells, divided repeatedly, repairing themselves after each division, preventing aging. Then they were used by Jonas Salk in creating a safe cure for polio with no consent nor compensation to Miss Henrietta Lacks or her family. They didn't know that about us before advanced tools were created. They just knew that we were strong and didn't feel any pain. And that was said in so many words by J. Marison Sims, who is the quote-unquote father of gynecology. The father of modern gynecology. Why do I always do that? Gynecological. The vagina area, y'all. Whose entire career was basically, it was built off experimenting on black women slaves without consent or even anesthesia. Y'all can feel free to look at that some more because I can't go into that. That just messes me up every time. But what we was able to do was we was able to astral project, and we practiced dissociation where we would feel no pain. But that don't make it right. Like, that don't make it right just because we know how to do that. But it don't make it right, especially when you're not even aware that you can do that. So it's like, anyway. We're divine beings. We're both walking life and death. We are the ones who says if life can live or not. Meaning, we're the ones that decide if the dead can live. Do y'all hear me? This is the longest ever it took them to try to kill us. And this is because of the black man. And like, when they realized that they couldn't kill us physically themselves, they started to attack us spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And they got it where we go and kill ourselves off. And it started with the Quaker Freeman schools, which basically taught spirituality to children. And then they started the banking systems, which took away our livelihood. So that just mentally messed us up when it forced us to basically beg for help. And that's how we got to this mess as well. But yeah, that's the black woman's story, how we got here. How this is ours and what we can do and why we keep being attacked, and how we're just so damn special. And I really hope y'all understand the gravity of how amazing we really are. Like, do y'all understand how amazing we are? Oh, real quick, because it just popped up about the Eve. Okay, so black women created the black man, and the black man created white people. Starting off with the black man. It started off with the white man. They created the white man first. Now, initially, black women were told that they was going to basically experiment in creating extra help as an extra defense for when we're being attacked. That's what they were really created for. But it was later learned that that's not why they were created. Basically, we agreed to our own demise in a sense. Yeah, so they wanted to be with black women because they're made like humans, they're made like us, so they have some of our natural feelings and whatever. And they wanted to be with black women. Black women was like, nah, because you're not real, you're basically an experiment, you're like my son's toy in a sense, which sounds harsh, but that's how it was. So that's when the black man went back and created a white woman from the white man. That's where they get the concept of Adam and Eve, and that's why they say that Lilith was the first wife and she wouldn't lay down with him and blah blah blah. That's where that came from. I was told to say that. But alright, y'all, that's all I got. Part 2 should be up. It's coming up. It's coming soon. I'm recording it next, so it's going to be up sometime. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the tribe, share if you dare to care. First, real quick, I got to say this, because if you don't believe in this mess, that is fine. It's not for you, but this is the truth. Like, I talked to my ancestors, my higher ups, and this is where I got it from. I wrote this down, and then I found the evidence to back it up. Though some things that I seen years ago is not still there, because I've seen how they said that the world before was just all women. I saw that shit. Like, I remember seeing that. So, yeah, when you go back to look for it, it's not there, or it's turned into something else. But, yeah, not even just women, black women. I had to correct myself on that, too. But, yeah, again, if you don't believe in it, that's fine. Just keep it pushing. It's not meant for you. But the ones that know, they know. And that's why they watched. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the tribe, share if you dare to care, because it's all love over here and we just want to spread that shit. Feel free to look on the page for more content, because there's more on there and there's also more to come. If you didn't like this, that is fine. Just keep it pushing. I'm glad I entertained you for the moment that I did. And, yeah, later.